Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are all doing well. Today I'll be showing you my full Inktober sketchbook tour. If you've been following along up till now, you've probably already seen my progress videos, but if you haven't, be sure to check them out. I'll leave the links in the description. And here in the beginning, I'll just be showing you the main supplies that I used, but if you want to skip straight to the sketchbook tour, you can go to the timestamps on the screen. One of them is like a more detailed flip through where I talk about each piece, and the other one is just a quick flip through where you can just see each of the pieces. So this year I actually wasn't planning on doing Inktober just because I had such a busy schedule and there was so much controversy surrounding Inktober, but I decided I wanted to take on the challenge just to improve myself as an artist and to get more comfortable with ink since it isn't a medium that I use a lot. So the sketchbook I used was just this old sketchbook I have. I think it's from Michael's, and I had like just a little bit left at the end, the perfect amount to do Inktober, so I thought it'd be good to use for that. And here you can see just the classic, Micron pens and some other brush pens by Sakura that I used. And here I have Pigma brush pens in different sizes, a white jelly roll for highlights, these two Tombow brush pens. One of them is a firm tip and one of them is a soft tip, so you can get like different kind of line widths with those. Here I have some Copic multi-liners for thinner lines, and for some pieces I also use these dip pens with ink, and also some ballpoint pens which I just had lying around my house. And also for some of the pieces, just to go on top, I also added like watercolor and other things for color and stuff like that, but these were the main supplies that I used. So if you want to see something more in depth, be sure to go check out my progress videos. For the first half of this challenge, I used this prompt list by Isabel Staub, but for the second half, I just decided that I wanted to kind of just draw whatever I felt like without having to be limited by a prompt list. Some of the things were my own ideas, and some of them were from reference pictures I found on Pinterest or Instagram. So here for week 1, I combined the first 3 prompts, which I think were like pumpkin spice, leaves, and cozy. So I just drew like the leaves in the background with her cozy sweater and the little pumpkin spice latte, and just kind of using the ink to kind of create movement and stuff with the details and the leaves going off out of the border. So overall I was pretty happy with this piece. The next day was the Loch Ness Monster, so I tried to create this sort of creature that wasn't completely human but not completely a monster either, and I had a lot of fun doing like the stippling on the sky and all of like the work on the water and the reflection. I think I could still work on that a bit, but it was kind of fun to try something different. The next prompt was werewolf, and when I originally made this, I really did not like how it turned out. I think it was just the markers, and I just don't have a lot of experience using markers, and also the color combination is kind of weird, but looking at it now, it's not that bad, but definitely something I need to work on. And here you can see, it like bled through a little bit on the back, but it didn't affect the next page, which is good. And I actually tried to remake that one because I didn't like it that much, but both kind of weren't doing it for me, so I just left it. This next one was Pixie, and this was probably one of my favorite pieces just because of all the pretty like details and everything everywhere with the ink, and I want to try to make more pieces like this in the future. This next prompt was unicorn, and so what I was trying to do with this one was play around with color a little bit more. I mixed up some of my watercolors and used them as ink with my dip pens, and was kind of trying to go for like a fairy tale illustration sort of feel, but it didn't completely turn out how I wanted it to, but it was okay in the end. This next one was vampire, and I really did not like this one. I, again, think it's just the colors that looked kind of weird together, like the red and pink. And I don't really know what my idea was with the composition, but it's okay. This next one was mermaid, and I finally got to use my dip pens again with actual ink, which I was really excited about, and this one was really fun to make with all like the fish and the movement with her hair and the tail and everything. I just really liked this one a lot. And this next piece was Candle. So this was inspired by a movie still. It doesn't exactly look like it since I wasn't really looking at the reference, but yeah, nice composition. And this prompt was spell book, so I just drew this girl with a spell book and some, like, I guess sparkles coming out of it. I think it honestly looked better at just the line work stage, but yeah, I don't know if the glitter helped it. And this one was Spiderweb, and I wanted to do this one kind of inspired by the Greek myth about Arachne. It's not exactly like the myth, but I thought it was fun to use like the gold in a different way to accent the spider web, and here you can see the gold a bit better. But yeah, this was pretty fun, like the color scheme and everything. And this was the final piece I did using that prompt list, and it was Potion. And so for this, again, I really liked the color scheme and everything. And I also had a lot of fun doing the scene behind her, kind of like using, I guess, minor perspective. I wasn't super strict with it, like I didn't use a ruler, but it was fun to make the piece come together a bit more with all the things around her. And I spilled ink in a couple places, but with the watercolor, I was kind of able to cover that up. So here, this was just using ink, kind of an illustration of a girl sitting down, looking out the window. Not much to it, just it took a while to do all the details around her, kind of repetitive, but I liked the effect overall. And yeah, I like all the intricate embroidery on her dress and skirt and veil and everything, but it was fun. This next piece was using just a ballpoint pen, which shows that you don't need expensive art supplies to do this challenge at all. You can just use any pen you have lying around, and different techniques like hatching and stuff can help you get the effect of shading while still having like the richness of ink. This one was just a girl twirling around, kind of. I added like different flowers around her to kind of tie it together with the flowers on her dress. For this piece, I just used a reference picture I found online and used brush pens to draw the girl and her dress and jewelry and everything to get all the details on there. And then I went in with a gold acrylic marker to kind of add some metallic accents to it. And I also added it to the background, but I didn't really like it. This next one was with Copic markers, which I do not use a lot. I have the set, so I just wanted to kind of get more comfortable with using them. And for this one, I again just used a reference picture I found and did the sketch with colored pencil, but I was kind of dumb and didn't save the reference picture, so I didn't really have a reference when I was doing the inking part, which was kind of hard since this is a little bit of a different angle for the face that I'm not used to drawing. So that was a bit challenging, but yeah, just pushing through and trying to get the likeness of the face and the different values with the markers afterwards. And yeah, you can see it bled through a bit, but that's fine. And this next piece was using brush pens. I used some different colored brush pens this time, and then along with watercolor markers for the color. And I don't know why I decided to add the freckles with a dark blue marker. It looks like she has some sort of skin disease, but that's okay. This next one was just a super quick sketch using some brush pens again. Pretty simple. This next one is a portrait study that I did, and I used a purple brush pen for this. And initially when I started doing the hatching, I was kind of scared. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, and it looked kind of weird at first just in one part, but when I finished the whole thing, it kind of tied together pretty well, I think. And this next piece is just using some blue and black ballpoint pens. I did 2 more photo studies of these 2 girls, and just kind of like getting used to using a ballpoint pen to do more shading and show value with them, since it's like a little more difficult than it would be with a pencil since it is ink, but you can still get a lot more value with ballpoint pens than you can with other sorts of more opaque inks. For this spread, I was cleaning up my old watercolor palette, so I just like splattered some blue and green paint onto here, and then afterwards went in with some brush pens and drew on some fish. And yeah, I like how it turned out. It's nice. And this next piece was just a sketch from my imagination. I just used a colored pencil to do the original outline and then inked it in. And for this piece, I also used a reference picture I found online, but I kind of stopped using it halfway through, so it doesn't really look like the original face that much. And for this one, just kind of challenging myself with a sort of different angle and expression, like her head is lifted a bit more and she's smiling with her teeth, so that was a little bit challenging to draw, but in the end I like how all the colors and everything came together. And this was the final piece. I just used a blue ballpoint pen to do a simple witch illustration, and I was really excited by the time I got to the end, and I felt pretty accomplished. So yeah, here you can see like all the different details around it with the ballpoint pen, which was really fun. So definitely one of my favorite sketching tools that I want to continue using and getting better at working with. And so here I'm just doing a quick final flip through, and you can see all of the pieces one last time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed following me along on this little Inktober journey. I know I definitely enjoyed doing this challenge and I learned a lot from it. If you like this video, be sure to leave a like down below and subscribe for more art videos coming soon. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys soon. Bye!